and we can get started. So this is a problem where you are going to combine like terms.
Is that
So
a
on the
division
left,
symbol or a, oh no, that's an addition sign. Sorry.
yeah, we're gonna add these together. That's 7G 4 plus. Okay, and now when you look at the side with the variable, that's the side on the left here. What do you see here? What should you undo first? This addition of 4 or this multiplication by 7?
The addition of 4, so you would subtract 4. You would subtract it, right? You'd subtract 4 from 4 and then
Yep.
4 from negative 16.
Yeah, no, there seems to be some question about like, what
Or
do you
negative
subtract it
66.
Yeah, what do you subtract from? It's always you show it underneath, and then it's got, and then when I keep saying side, just to be clear, I mean sides are the sides of the equation. They're separated by the equal side. And it's like left side, right side. But that's what it's referring to. It's always on like one side and then the other. All right. And then to undo this multiplication by 7, you divide by 7, G equals minus 10. All right, so that's an example of the variable being question.
Oh, so I was gonna ask, what exactly is it called when you do this? Like, if this question were to show up on the test, would it be framed in the way of like simplify this or like solve
We
this?
would
Like,
say
how would
solve,
they say that? Huh?
solve, solve,
Solve? Okay.
solve, solve, solve.
So this is the solving, and they would have it written
Yes.
like that.
Yeah, and the thing is it won't be exactly presented this way. It'll be dressed up a little differently, but it'll be more or less the same. Same thing here. So here's a problem just like it, meaning you combine like terms first.
So you would add positive 60 and negative 70.
You have to combine like terms. This is a 6D and a 7 minus 7D. 7D, yeah.
So you would combine them,
Yes.
but it
Anything with the
wouldn't be
same.
6 minus 7. It would be 6 plus negative 7, technically, right?
Sure, yeah. That's good.
Sometimes when I see the sign, I don't think of like, oh, that makes it a negative. I just think of like 6 minus 7.
Yeah, that's okay. So
that helps me figure out whether or not it should be a negative when I solve it. So negative, it would be -1. Right,
negative
with the
1D.
negative. My
Yep.
screen just went black. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I've noticed you kind of the connection.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So again, you look at the side with the variable. The right side has the variable. So look at the right side. You have this addition by 4 and this -1 times D. Which do you undo first?
You would add or no, you would subtract the 4, right? Subtract the 4
That's right.
from 4 and then subtract it from -5.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the -5. So would it be -9? Would you add and keep the same
Yes,
sign?
exactly. Good.
And then 0. And then you would divide both sides by 1.
-1.
Or yeah, -1. So find this right there. Is something divided by 1 always itself or what?
Well, yes, anything divided by 1 is itself, but you're not dividing by 1. You got to, it's a small difference, but it's significant. I mean, it's negative.
But so it would still end up being a -9 though?
It's
Like the answer would be -9?
it's
Or no,
positive
because
9 in
they're the
this
same
case.
sign, it would be +9. They
Yes,
turn into the
yes,
same sign if they're
yes,
both negative? Okay.
yes. Okay. All right, we have to move on to we should move on here to a new topic. Let me know if you have any questions on that though before we proceed.
I think I'm good.
Okay. All right. So
And that was called solving two-step equations?
well, we're doing more of it. There's like different variations on it. This is when the variables are on the same side and you combine them. This is you're like it's all generally solving multi-step equations like that. But there's like different types within that we're working on.
Okay.
Does that make sense, or is that
Yeah, I just wanted to know how to like label it when I wrote it down so I'd remember like what exactly it was.
okay? So this type of problem, before we work on this next type of problem, we have to be clear on some things here. Let's say I put 4, an equal sign, and a 3, and this is not a trick question. Which is smaller, 4 or 3?
3,
Yes. How about 5 and -2? Which is smaller?
-2.
Good. Now, the next one here, which is smaller, the -1 or the +2?
-1.
Yes, very good. Okay. So this is the key to the next part, is to move the smaller to the larger. I'm going to give you a lot of examples, but I just need that to be clear before we start. And it is. You answered all those correctly. I don't have any concerns about that. Okay. The reason I was asking all that is we are now looking at 5H and 3H. Okay. This is 5H plus 3 equals 3H plus 11. Which is smaller, 5H or 3H?
3H.
3H. So when I say move the smaller to the larger, this is what I mean. You subtract 3H from both sides. Now, what is
And how do I know
5H
when to do?
minus? Say that again.
How do I know when to do? I'm trying to see what's different about this with the other ones. Is it because there's an equation on either side of the equal sign instead
The
of they're
variable,
just
yeah, the variable is on both sides.
okay?
Okay, so when it's on both sides, you have to move from the smaller to the larger. Okay, so 5H minus 3H is 2H. You bring down the other stuff.
Equals 11. And then do you do this the same as the other way where you would subtract 3 from 3 and 11?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's subtract 3 from both sides. 2H equals 8.
Mhm. And then divide each by 2.
Yes,
So it would be H equals 4.
very good. Okay, let's look at a new problem. me know if you need a moment to get that down in your notes.
Because a lot of these look really like when I see them in my head, they all kind of look like jumbled up when I first see them, and I gotta because they all look similar. A lot of them look similar, but like this one has a different steps that you do from the last one. So I'm just trying to
Yeah,
remember
they all,
what about the problem I need to memorize to know what to do.
it's akin to like, well, I always take the same highway to work, but I can get there different ways to the highway. All of these problems turn into 2-step equations or 1-step equations, but there's different
Okay.
steps to getting there. All right, let's take a look at another one here. Notice that there are variables on both sides of the equation.
So you would subtract 4 from
Smaller
6j 4j?
you subtract 4j from both sides. Good. All right, so on the right, or actually on the left, we'll bring the 26 down. On the right, it's 50 plus 2j.
Yeah. 26. J. And then you would you subtract 50? I'm
Yes.
confused.
Yes.
Oh, you would? Okay. So
Yeah, it's now a
26.
2-step equation. You look at the side with variables.
So negative 24. 2j. You would divide both by 2?
By 2, the number in front of j. All right, and then this is where it's a little bit maybe awkward, but you can write it like this: minus 12 equals j, or you switch the order. So you write j equals minus 12.
Do you usually put the variable first?
Variable normally on the left, yes.
Okay.
Any questions on that before we move on to another example?
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right, here's a new example for us to look at. You'll see that there's a variable on both sides of the equation.
So it'd be
So
a 1 in front of both of those?
yes, so it's 1L and negative 1L.
So I would be subtracting negative 1 from each side?
Well, you undo subtraction with addition. So you add
Oh,
L,
okay. So I
you
would
add
add
L
1 to
or add
each.
1L, if you will.
Wait, but that would be negative. Oh, wait, never mind. I thought you were writing 2L again. That's not a lowercase L, that's a 21. All right.
It's a little odd that that they use uppercase letters, but it's not the worst
Yeah,
thing
it
in the
just kind
world.
of tripped me up because I was like, wait, that's a 1, not a. It's right by the uppercase L. It's like uppercase and lowercase. And then after that, you would.
Why don't you
So
try
you're at
solving this
2L
from
plus
here?
21. So minus 21.
Keep going.
Okay. $66. Would it be L equals 33?
That is correct. All right. Have you try another one here. All right, so go ahead and see how far you can work this out on your own. There's more problems we can do beyond these, so hopefully this is clear, but ask me some questions if not.
I need to start over. I got mixed up. I
Okay.
didn't end up with a variable by the time I was dividing. I ended up trying to do 9 divided by 9.
Ooh, yeah,
I
no.
don't know what I did. Let's see. I was adding the wrong thing. I was adding 3 to 3 and 12. Is it A equals 13?
It is not. Did you subtract 4a from both sides?
Yeah. And I
Okay, so
ended up with 3A for 7 minus 4. Is that wrong?
okay. No, that's right. Okay, the next place the issue occurs here. Did you bring down the negative with the 9?
Yeah, and then but that side I add 9 to it, so it'll just become 0,
You look at the
right?
side with the variables. Now you actually subtract 12.
Oh, that's what I was doing.
Now you could add 9. It's just that it takes a little bit more effort. I'll show you that in a moment. Okay, but let's go through it here. So if you subtract 12 from both sides, it's minus 21 equals 3a. And then you divide both sides by 3. All right, so can I show you? I want to show you this other way here, because what you said isn't wrong. It isn't wrong to add 9 to both sides, but it does lead to a little bit of extra effort here. Okay, so when you add 9, minus 9 plus 9 is 0. 3a plus 12 plus the 9 is 3a plus 21. You're now in the same predicament that you were before. You have to move this number to the other side of the equation. You have to subtract 21. So you get minus 21 equals 3a. You still divide by 3. And you still get a equals minus 7, but just a little bit more effort there.
I don't understand how to do it like that.
So we don't want to do that. We always want to look at the side with the variable once we're down to one variable. All right, so let's look at a problem like this one. Should you subtract 13b or subtract 6b from both sides?
Let's see.
Which is smaller?
6.
You subtract 6b from both sides. So 7b equals 14. Now look at the side with the variable. So you divide both sides by 7 and b equals 2. Okay, let me have you try one more here. Found one I think that isn't too bad. You still with me, Riley?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, will you give this one a try, please?
Yeah, I'm writing it down. So am I adding 15 or 13?
The variables, look at the two variables, 8K and 4K,
Oh, but
which is smaller.
after I do that and I turn it to 4K minus 15, 15 equals 13, and I have to add, do I add
Right.
the negative 15 or do I subtract is that,
So,
it's
the way I'm gonna answer
the
is you
15?
look at the side with the variable. You don't care about what's going on the other side. You look at the side with the variable. So how do you undo what's on the side with the variable? Meaning that it's not a choice. It's not, well, do I add 15 or do I subtract 13? There's no choice because you're looking at the side with the variable. That is the only choice.
So I was confirming, because that was where I
Yes.
got mixed up last time.
Yes.
I have to do my calculator. It's whatever
Sure.
28 divided by 4 is.
Now, if we were in person, I would cover up the right side of the equation with piece of paper or a sticky note. I mean, you can't really do it on the digital screen. That would be my advice to you, is when you're writing it down, is to cover up the side, everything but the side with the variable. And then that way you don't, have that uncertainty about which way to go. Okay, let's look at another one here. This one's a little bit different, so let me know when you're ready and we can go through this one together. Can we go through this one, Riley? I was
Yeah,
going to help you out with this one. That's what I was trying to say. Maybe you're already working on it.
I made it 2F because I subtracted 1.
Okay, good. So it's -8 equals 6 plus 2F. And you're just looking at the side. You're just looking at the side with the variable. That -8 isn't a consideration. So you've got a 6, a 2. What do you undo first?
You subtract 6 from 8 and 6.
Good. So
So
that's
I do
minus
like it.
14 equals 2F.
And then you just divide them by 2.
Very good. Okay. Are you ready to move on to kind of a related problem? Kind of.
Maybe.
Okay. All right. So let me put something new in front of you here. We kind of looked at it the other night. All right. So we got 37 equals -3 plus 5 times parentheses x plus 6. All right, so we talked about last time, when you have a number outside the parentheses, you want to distribute that to both of these. So this becomes 5x plus 30. Do you agree with that? Any questions on how I got those results from multiplying the 5 in?
No.
Okay, then you bring the
So it
other
times
stuff.
it, right?
Yes, yes. Then you just bring everything else down. Okay. Now, if you look at the right side, do you see that there are like terms? -3 and positive 30. Those are like terms. So you can add them together. I feel like maybe I'm speaking foreign language right now. What do you
Hmm?
think here? Is this clear or not?
Yeah, I'm just putting it in the calculator.
Okay.
Then you subtract 27. And then you divide by 5, so it'd be x equals 2.
All right, let's look at another problem. All right, so a new problem here, -13 equals 5, parentheses 1 plus 4m, close parentheses minus 2m. So just like in the last problem, when you see a number outside parentheses, you have to multiply in. All right, so this becomes 5 times 1 is 5, 5 times 4m is 20m, bring down the minus 2m, minus 13 equals. I'm curious just what you see from this point. Like, do you see that, yeah, this is, there is,
I mean, I'd have to do it out myself to know what the 5 times 4 is and stuff.
well, no,
But
sorry. I'm asking
yeah,
about like, what do you see in this line? Do you see anything that we've done already?
oh. Yeah, you just add the variables that are the same.
Yes, very good. So these two combine together. And now it can be solved like we've been doing. So do you want to give that a try, please?
I'm kind of confused because it would be negative 18 divided by 18, right?
Okay. Yep. Yep. And they're the same, except for the sign.
So
That's
would
good.
it just be m at the end?
Well,
Wouldn't everything add a 0?
it doesn't go to 0 though. It means it
Oh,
goes to 1. If you have the same thing on the top and bottom, it goes to 1. The negative also comes down to make m.
okay.
All right. So the next problems are similar. Let's see here. Try not to make, I don't want to go crazy giving you, super difficult one to start out, but here's another one, another type that we've kind of been working out. All right. So here, what I'd like you to do is, could you on the left multiply the 3 into both terms and tell me what you come up with?
Even though they're on both sides of the equal sign, am I supposed to add the 8 and 15?
Did you get 15C minus 12 equals 8C plus 2?
Mm-hmm.
Good. So you move the smaller to the larger. Do you move the
So I
8C or the
do subtract 8,
8C?
even though
That's
they're on
right.
opposite sides.
That's right.
So it'd be 7C.
Okay, 7C minus 12 equals 2. Go ahead and keep working it out from here, please.
Add 12.
Yep, keep going.
Would it be C equals 2?
Yes, C equals 2. Very good. All right. So here is another problem. We're just kind of building up the difficulty each time. Um, Nothing that I'm showing you is new. It's just you've got to take a step in that, one direction or other. You're like, all right, what am I going to do? And
Five, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Subtract 6. Is the end answer E equals 12?
it is well done. That's excellent. Okay. Now a couple of other things to show you. I don't want you to rush into doing these quite yet. It's because you might need a small reminder for them. So there are a couple of problems I skipped over because I didn't quite know, didn't want these to be stumbling blocks, but we snip this in here. So in this problem, you've got a lot going on. 2D plus 18 equals 12 minus 6 times D plus 7. We did this a while back, but when you distribute in, you're actually distributing in the -6 now. So it's -6 times D, -6 times 7, that's minus 42. All right, so you have to be comfortable distributing in negatives as well. Sometimes they're positive, sometimes they're negative. You know, we don't have any way of knowing what you will get.
But so it'd be the same thing, the sign's just different?
Yeah, I mean, it just changes the signs when it's a negative. All right. Sorry, I didn't bring that 12 down either. There we go. Okay. Now, on the right side of the equation, you can combine like terms. There's a 12 positive and a minus 42 negative. So you can combine like terms. All right, so on the left, it's 2D plus 18. On the right, it's minus 30 minus 6D. So this one's more involved. This is just, it's got more stuff, more of the same things we've been doing. You're doing great. All right, now, which is smaller, the 2D or the minus 6D?
The -6. So would you
Right,
add 6 to both sides? Because it's
exactly.
negative?
Yep, very good. So you
And
add
18,
6D. Very good, yep. 8D plus 18 equals negative 30.
and then you would subtract 18 from 18 and negative 30.
You got it.
And then divide both of those by 8.
Yep. So D equals negative 6. All right, so I think
Okay.
we got enough time here. I'm gonna throw one at you here to try. Kind of like the last one, a little bit easier. Go ahead and take a look at this one. Let me know if you have any questions. Just confirming here that you got minus 6H plus 12 on the left equals 20 minus 4H.
Yeah. And now I'm doing I'm combining the variable ones.
Okay, and hopefully because minus 6H is less than minus 4H, you're moving it that direction.
Oh wait, I forgot there were minuses. I was doing it. I have to rewrite now.
Smaller to larger, yeah. We're really on the tail end of like with how much more depth. We don't really need to go into a lot more depth on this. We should get back to solving problems next time for this. So
So I'd be adding 6 to both of them instead.
yeah, you always move the smaller to the larger, whatever that
Wait, I'm doing the. I would.
Be subtracting 20 from both sides.
I started subtracting from the variable again on accident. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish this. I've had to rewrite it too many times and I have a pen, so none of
That's
the.
okay. Just go ahead and follow along here. We're almost done here. We'll divide by 2. And so H is -4. All right, we're gonna go ahead and stop there for